You know that feeling, right? You're lost in your own company's digital space, clicking around endlessly, just trying to find a simple form or a key policy. It's a super common problem, but the solution? Well, it starts with something surprisingly simple, a map. So let's talk about how to build one. I mean, this quote just nails it, doesn't it? It's that exact feeling of digital frustration. You know the information you need is in there somewhere, but you're just clicking in circles with no idea where you're going. That is precisely what a messy, disorganized internet feels like. So, does that sound familiar? I bet for a lot of you, the answer is a big yes. Our digital workplaces, they're packed with powerful tools and really valuable information. But without a solid structure, they just become these frustrating mazes instead of the helpful guides they're supposed to be. So what's missing? It's the map. Let's actually define what this blueprint is that can bring some serious order to all that digital chaos. Okay, so let's be super clear here. A sitemap is way more than just a list of pages. You gotta think of it as the architectural blueprint for your entire digital workspace. It shows you exactly how every single tool, every piece of content, every page connects to everything else, creating a logical, intuitive path for every employee. So, why does this blueprint matter so much? Why should you care? Because honestly, spending a little bit of time planning at the very start is going to save you from major headaches and a lot of rework down the line. It's truly the foundation for success. Let's break down the big wins here. First, a visual map instantly boosts collaboration. It gets everyone, IT, HR, comms, on the same page, looking at the same vision. This makes sharing ideas and feedback so much simpler, because you're not talking about abstract concepts, you're pointing to a concrete plan. And maybe the biggest one of all, it seriously reduces project risk, letting you test out the entire structure before you spend a dime on development. Okay, so now we get why the map is so important. Let's get practical. How do you actually, build one for your organization? Let's walk through it. We can really break this whole process down into 4 key steps, and we're going to start with the most important one of all, getting the right people in the room. This first step, it's absolutely non-negotiable. You need a team from across the company. You've got to have HR's insights on what employees need, IT's understanding of the technology, and communications expertise on how information flows. And here's a pro tip. Don't just invite the department heads. Get the people who answer questions from employees every single day. Trust me, they know exactly where the real pain points are. All right, next, you've got a choice to make about your approach. There are really 2 main ways to go. The top-down way is where you start with big, high-level categories like HR or sales, and then you build down from there. This is perfect if you're starting a new internet from scratch. But if you already have a site, you might want to go bottom-up. You start with all the content you already have, and you start grouping it into logical piles, letting the natural patterns show you the way. And hey, no matter which path you choose, a content audit is critical. You have to know what you're working with. Which pages are getting all the traffic? What's outdated? What's been duplicated a dozen times? Looking at this data means your new map is going to be based on how people actually use the site, not just how you think they do. So, you've drafted your map, you might be feeling pretty good, but hold on. The next phase is so important. You have to test it and validate it with your actual users. This is where the theory gets real. Now, the best way to test is with what we call task-based testing. Instead of just asking people, hey, what do you think of this? You give them a specific goal. Something like, okay, go find the holiday request form, or look up the new travel policy. Watching them try to navigate your prototype shows you exactly where the structure works and where it totally breaks down. It's priceless feedback. And while they're testing, you're really listening for the answers to these key questions. Does this layout just make sense to them? Can they find stuff easily? Or are they having to click, digging through layer after layer to find something simple? If they're digging, that's a huge red flag that your map needs some work. All right, finally, let's cover a few super simple but incredibly powerful rules for your main navigation. Getting these right will make a world of difference for your user experience. Rule number 1, and this is a big one, keep it simple. You ever see a menu with like 20 different options? Your brain just shuts down. It's called choice paralysis. By limiting your main categories, ideally to less than 10, you make the whole site feel way more approachable right from that very first click. Rule 2 is all about the words you use. They have to be clear and obvious. No internal jargon. A brand new employee should be able to look at a label and instantly know what's behind it. For instance, benefits is way better than something like people ops resources. Always, always choose clarity. And rule number 3, please, please, please avoid the digital junk drawer. You know what I'm talking about? Those vague categories like miscellaneous or other. They just become a black hole where content goes to die, and it tells your users that you're not organized. So let's just lock these takeaways in. A lean main menu, clear, simple labels, no junk drawers, and a relentless focus on the user. The goal, always, is to get them what they need in the fewest possible clicks. It's that simple. And that brings us right back to where we started. A great sitemap is what turns a digital workplace from a confusing maze into a clear, intuitive city map. It empowers every single employee to find their way with confidence. So the final question you have to ask is, when you look at your own intranet, which one is it?